Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Dan from Tripstep Games, and as you can see today we are playing Skyrim. This guide is for people who've played through the game before and they're interested in finding out how to create the ultimate character, create the ultimate weapons and gear, the best possible builds, and also how to get access to an infinite amount of gold without relying on any cheats or exploits at all. So we're going to discuss that in detail in this guide. The first thing about how to create the ultimate armor, it involves balancing all three crafting skills, enchanting, alchemy, and smithing. Basically, you get all three of them up to 100, and they can use each other to get up to 100. I'll explain that in later videos. But once they're all 100, you can enchant gear with plus alchemy on it. So you make gear with plus alchemy on it. Then once you have the plus alchemy gear, you put that on and create potions that add plus enchanting. Now you have potions that are plus enchanting. You go back to your enchanting station, drink the potions, re-enchant gear with plus alchemy and plus smithing, and then you'll have the best possible plus alchemy plus smithing gear. And you have these potions that can create the best possible plus enchanting gear. Then you go back to your alchemy and create the best possible plus smithing potions. So now you have smithing sort of double dips because you get to wear the gear and you get to drink the potion. So you can really improve weapons and armor this way and get your armor way above the cap. Actually, using this technique, you can wear any armor you want, light armor, heavy armor, all the way down to hide armor. Actually, if you take all the perks, you can max out your armor because you're going to hit the armor cap no matter what kind of armor you wear, as long as you use this technique. And then in order to get an infinite supply of gold from that, you're going to make potions out of, you're going to make these ultimate potions that you can sell for a ridiculous amount of money. That's going to involve getting your speech up, because your speech increases faster based on the value of the items you're selling. So when you have these ridiculously expensive potions, you sell them and your speech is going to fly up. Now I know there's an exploit you can use to get your speech up to 100, but I'm not going to use that at all. I'm just going to keep selling until my speech gets to 100 and keep making more potions. So it doesn't really take that long actually with this technique. So all four of those skills really play off of each other well: enchanting, alchemy, smithing, and speech. However, this isn't something you can really do right out of the gate. If you don't have the funds, if you don't have the supplies, you're not going to be able to get all three of your trade skills up to 100. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to play through the main plot line. I'm not going to show you guys that because it's you can do that on your own. But I'm going to play through the entire game. I'm going to gather a few Daedric artifacts to help me get through the game and also help with enchanting. Save up any alchemy ingredients I find, save any petty soul gems I find, and save any gear with enchantments. I'm going to make sure to disenchant those so that I can learn those effects. It's essential actually. So save up all three of those things, and save any ore and anything that you can get leather from, any hides that you find. In order to save it, you're going to have to get access to somewhere to live. I'm just going to save up 5,000 gold, and I might buy the house in Whiterun, but actually with the new Hearthfire DLC, which I have installed, I can create a house. And the plot costs 5,000, and it's not much more to get a house going. So actually I'll probably do that instead. Let's make my character now. Who am I? I think I'm going to make a high elf. High elves are the tallest race in Skyrim. And actually that is not just aesthetic, but it actually has a benefit, because Bethesda was a little bit lazy when they made their characters. They neglected to... basically, the way they have spiders hit you, little spiders don't hit for as much damage. You can't run as fast as big spiders. That way they don't have to worry about adding stats. They just create bigger spiders in certain dungeons, and those spiders are harder. This also applies to playable characters. So if you have a high elf, the tallest possible playable character, he hits harder in melee and runs faster than other races. Kind of silly, I know, but that's what happened. I'm not going to spend too much time here. I can change the way he looks later. What to call him? I'm just going to give him an elfy type name. Alright. I'm going to go and skip this prologue, and I'm going to come back and show you guys some perks. And we're going to discuss which perks you should take and which perks you should skip, and then which ones have wiggle room based on the kind of build you want. Alright, so now we're going to look at skills. I'm starting in the warrior type skills, and let's start looking at smithing. With smithing, you should really just pick one side or the other side. You need this so you can improve things that are enchanted. Before you actually have this, it's recommended to improve your armor before you enchant it, because after it's enchanted you can't improve it anymore, your armor or weapons. Then you should pick a side. Do you want heavy armor or light armor, depending on what you want to wear. If you want heavy armor, go up the right side. If you want light armor, go up the left side. Pretty simple. I'm going to go for Daedric armor as my end goal. I'm not even going to bother taking that dragon armor perk, probably, unless I find some reason to later. Alright, heavy armor, so I'm going to be wearing heavy armor. I really like the left side of this tree a lot. Fists of Steel, that's great for brawls. Cushioned, I hate fall damage in this game. I fall a lot. And that's huge. Weight to 0, because heavy armor does weigh a lot. The right side, not so much. I don't like this 25% bonus. That's good, but I don't even want to put perks on this side at all. I would like to save them for something else. 10% chance to reflect melee damage. You're not going to be taking enough melee damage in the end once you hit the cap to even worry about that. I'm not going to wear a head at all. I'm not going to wear a heavy armor head, so that set bonus doesn't apply to me. I'm going to put 1 point in this. I'm not going to put all 5 points, because if you're wearing Daedric armor and you improve it to the max, even without these perks, you're going to hit the armor cap very easily. So I'm not going to worry about wasting extra points in there. Block. I like block. I'm going to be building with my guy. He's going to be a blocker. He's going to be using a shield. Although I'm going to play around with some dual wield and see how I like that. Time slow. It's actually a pretty cool effect. I don't think it's super helpful because you're blocking when it's going on. Arrows, blocking arrows is nice. This is huge, elemental protection. Early on it's huge, because once you enchant your own gear, you should probably enchant magic. Damage reduction. Block runner, able to move fast with shield raids, that's big. So I really like the left side of this one too. Sprinting with a shield, that's a really kind of a cool thing. I've played with it before. Power bash. So the right side's all about the bashing. It depends on if you want to shield bash or not. If you want to shield bash, that stuff's optional. If you're going to block it all, I would say this stuff's pretty mandatory. Two-handed. I'm not going to go two-handed. I'm going to raise two-handed with skill vendors, because I want all my skills to end up being 100 so I can hit the max level, but this is going to be tremendously difficult to raise if I'm not using it all the time. Two-hand swings slow, so it's a really hard skill to farm. It's better to just pay a vendor every level 5, 5, 5 until you get up to 90, and then you can grind out the last 10. And if you're going two-handed instead of one-handed, then I would recommend the opposite. I would go the opposite side. Actually, let me go over this, because what I did, I had a two-hand guy. I didn't pick any of these three because I like to switch around my weapons. They all have a kind of cool effect. I have a really difficult time picking which one is best. The bleed damage is kind of cool. Extra crit chance and ignoring armor. So they all have pretty cool effects. Champion stance, cool. Devastating blow. I like the decapitation animation, and bonus damage is good. Sprinting, I found that I whiffed a lot on that. I would charge at somebody swing my weapon and just go right past him. But when it did hit, it was like a one-shot kill every time. Sideways, that's nice. Area of effect, two-hand area of effect. I didn't even take this one. Actually, I didn't even get up to 100 skill to get to it, but I don't think I would take it, because backwards power attack is kind of hard to do. They have to be charging at you, because if you start going backwards and swing, and they're not following along with you, they're not going to get hit. And even then, it's only a 25% chance. So, this is the dual wield side. I'll probably end up taking these perks just because I really want to play around with dual wielding, even though I'm going to be using a shield a lot of the time. Now, these have the same thing, so I don't know. I probably won't end up picking any of these. I feel like that's just wasted perks. You have to be, since we're spending so many perks in our crafting trees, we're going to have to be pretty conservative with which perks we take for combat. Less stamina, good one, of course. Good, good. And these are all the same. Probably won't take that one. I'll probably take these two, this one, and all 5 points of these. Archery. I love archery. No matter what kind of character I make, I always end up playing around with archery. If you're going to do much archery, you want all 5 points of this. You want to be able to zoom. That's good skill. Slow time's pretty cool. Not super necessary. This ends up being 30% crit chance. That's huge. Stagger. That's amazing. Not that important. That's pretty important. So you might take this just to get to this. Bullseye. That's pretty cool. 15% chance to paralyze. 1 in 6 basically to 1 in almost 7. Yeah. This is huge. I mean, if you think about your DPS, this basically increases your DPS by 30%. You could draw a bow 30% faster. You're just firing 30% faster. Light armor. This is where I went last time. Now I'm going to go heavy armor. So I'm probably going to raise light armor at the skill vendor the same way I'm doing with two-handed. I think if you pick one, it's really hard to raise the other one because it just, you have to get beat on so much for the skill to go up. Custom fit. Again, you know, I would go up the left side of this. Stamina. 10% to avoid all damage. I don't like the matching set stuff because I don't like wearing matching sets. I don't like helms very much, so if I can avoid wearing helms, I try to. Sneak. Sneak is great, no matter what kind of character you make. If you plan on going through the Assassin's Guild, if you plan on going through the Thieves Guild, you definitely want some sneak stuff going on. Backstab is really cool. I'm definitely going to take that. I took it even on my two-hand guy. Because even with no one-hand skill, you're still one-shotting pretty much any NPC you sneak up on. Actually, it was this one that ended up doing it. 15 times damage. That's huge. Especially with the daggers we can make with crafting. It's one-shotting. Anything you can sneak up on is pretty much one-shot. Muffled. If you don't want to take this, you can just use the muffle spell in the illusion tree. Lightfoot. Not that important. Silent roll, I like it because it speeds you up. It gives you a little burst when you're sneaking. This is huge. It's so annoying because at first to sneak up on anything you have to start walking. You have to hit caps lock to start walking, or whatever it is on console. Shadow Warrior. This is pretty cool because you can just break combat. So if somebody detects you, you just pop up and crouch back down and they'll have to search for you again. So lock picking. Even if you're a thief, I don't recommend putting any points in lock picking. You can get your hands on so many lock picks. Your sneak's gonna be high enough that this is irrelevant. No, that's dumb. ADEP blocks. More gold. I mean, these are kind of cool. More treasure, more gold. No. No. And, I mean, really no reason. If you really want an unbreakable lockpick, just don't finish the Thieves Guild and use the skeleton key forever. Yeah. Even, I don't have any perks in this tree at all. and I was able to pick master locks. It usually takes about 10 locks, or 10 picks. They break pretty quick, but I could figure out in about 10 picks where to go. So, and you can get hundreds of picks from the Thieves Guild. Pickpocket. This one raises really fast by itself. So if you just spend like 3 hours doing it, you can get all the way to 100 in just a few hours just by pickpocketing everybody you find. And better chance if they're asleep. That's pretty cool. This one's pretty cool if you want to do some assassin stuff. You can put poison in their pocket, and we can make some really sick poisons near the end once we have it all set up right. No. This is nice. 100. I mean, that's like a 20% boost on where you end up at. 15-20% boost. So, I mean, that's pretty healthy amount of extra carrying. I hate having to run back and drop everything off and then go back out. So maybe you take that. So of this tree, I would say this is the maybes. Over here, this maybe. No. These two, if you want a really specialized thief and you want to be able to take weapons off people, or if you have a weapon, I haven't seen much that's like really essential to steal off of somebody that they have equipped. Yeah, maybe, I mean, if you find a reason to take these two, you could, but otherwise, these two are probably the only ones. And just one here. Okay, speech. This one's essential. Go up the left side. The right side is pointless. Bribe, whatever. Persuasion. No. Intimidation. None of those are any good. And once your speech is maxed out, there's no reason for any of that. You need a lure to get to the rest of the stuff. Sell any type of item to any kind of merchant. This is huge. Pay attention to when your speech skill hits 50. When you can start selling potions to everybody, that's when the game starts changing. That's when you start making lots of money. You can buy soul gems and then sell your potions to offset the costs. You can go really crazy. Investor. Now, actually, some people think it's a bug. I don't know. I think maybe it's like an Easter eggy type thing. But the merchant in Riverwood, the Riverwood trader, if you invest in his business, his gold will shoot up to about 11,500. All the other ones, when you invest in their business, their gold stash will go up by 500. So Riverwood trader, get this, invest in a Riverwood trader, and then you can get 11,000 every 2 days from him selling. Fence. Stolen goods, pretty cool. These two, I would even say, are optional. This extra 1,000 is nice. For every merchant to have 1,000 is really nice, actually. So I would almost put these as mandatory. But if you only sell to the Riverwood trader, he'll go from 11,500 to 12,500. So it's not a huge difference there. So it's really up to you if you want to save the perks for something else. Alchemy. We need alchemy. All 5 here. We got to take physician. I like the right side. If you want to make some sick poisons and that's your goal, go up the left side. But you need this one. So even if you go up the left side, you need this one to make the best potions possible for enchanting and for smithing. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't really need this. If you really want to play around with alchemy a lot, you need it. But actually, the negative effects don't hurt the cost or the price of selling potions. And that's going to be our money maker. It actually ends up raising the cost. Even if you have a poison and a beneficial thing on the same potion, the cost of it goes up. So that could actually, this could actually lower the value of your potions. This over here, green thumb. 2 ingredients are gathered from plants. Pretty cool. I don't think it's necessary. So the left side only up to here. You can actually get away with just going to here. If you just want to spend 3, or actually 7 points. 5 here, 1 here, 1 here. 7 points. Illusion. This is really cool for sneaky guys. So if you're going to play a stealthy class, play around with some illusion stuff. You can do invisibility, Muffled. You need quiet casting if you want to cast the spells silently. So yeah, illusion's cool. I don't know enough about the tree to really say what's valuable and what's not. I know that you definitely need to go get novice, and you need to get adept, expert, and master in order to cast efficiently. But this other stuff, I don't know, can work on higher level opponents. That's actually important if you want to use some certain spells to charm enemies and stuff. Eventually they're going to be way too high level for any of your spells to work, so this might allow calm to work on higher levels. Yeah, all illusion spells. Cumulative with those, so probably all these. Yeah, you should probably get all 3 of these if you're going to play much illusion. Conjuration, I'm going to be going conjuration. Maybe this side. That's Atronox. Actually, I'll probably go this way. Then I'm going to go kind of necromancer, death knight style. So I'm going to go up the undead tree. I don't think I'm going to take that. I'll play around and see which stuff I like here. Destruction, if you want a destructo mage. If you're going to go like pure caster, like destruction, there's still benefits you can get from, of course, having infinite gold is great, and enchanting things is great, but you're not going to get much out of the smithing because you're not going to be wearing armor. You can wear armor and make like a battle mage. You can actually reduce the cost of casting destruction spells by 100%, so basically free destruction spells. Well, that's pretty cool. Then you wouldn't even have to put any points in these ones because the cost doesn't matter. So this half magicka is pointless. You can cast whichever spell you want for free. So if you do want a pure caster, I would recommend getting those enchantments on something. And if you do it on armor, it's even better. Resto. Resto is hard to level, so it's another one that I'll probably use a vendor to level. I level Resto on my own as much as I can, so if I get hit, I switch to a healing spell, heal back up in between. Instead of just waiting an hour to get from low health to full health, I just heal to full health and try to get a point in restoration here and there, but it goes up so slow. Heal also stamina. That's pretty cool, actually, and it's not far up the tree. That looks like something that I would like to take no matter what. Magicka, yeah, if you're a caster, you want to get this. Magicka regenerates faster, depending on how you build your character. And those resto things. Alteration. They have paralysis, things like that. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, so if you're not going to wear armor, you might want to go mess around with these things. Magic resist, mage armor, that kind of stuff. And this is really cool. So if you're going to play a pure caster, if I played a pure caster, I would definitely aim for this skill in the end. This reduces incoming damage by 30% from spells and just converts it straight up to your magicka. So it not only doesn't hit you, but it refills your magicka. It's Atronox. I love the Atronox stone in the former games too. Enchanting, yeah, here we go. All 5 points here we need. Then you basically pick a side to go. You can go for these ones if you want to put some elemental enchants on, or you can go up these ones, skill enchants. You need this one. Health magic enchants. I go up this side. Not only is it less perks, but it's focused on the armor. Your weapons will run out of charge after a while. And it's kind of annoying to keep refilling them, but your armor is always constant, so you should definitely get these two to get the best possible stats from armor. This stuff, you don't need it. We'll have other ways to get souls and to recharge weapons. Yeah, if you don't want to go through the hassle of refilling your own weapon, maybe you can put points in that, but I don't think it's that necessary. And we're back to smithing. Alright, so now we've been through all the skills. The next video is going to start with me After I've completed, I'm going to go through the main storyline first. Finish the entire main story. That way I can spend time gathering lots of stuff. Also, the main story gives you really cool shouts that are very helpful for fighting dragons. Get you some cool gear, and it'll kind of distract you so that you can stockpile a lot of petty soul gems and a lot of ore, leather, and a ton of alchemy ingredients, and that's really what you need. And when you're stockpiling, the first thing, like I said earlier, save 5,000 gold, get a house. After you get a house, go ahead and start storing your stuff there. Before you get a house, you can try to store your stuff other places, but it'll turn into stolen. So if you store it and then grab it later, it'll look like it's stolen, and sometimes it might be gone. So first priority, get 5,000 gold, get the Whiterun house, or if you have Hearthfire, get your own house. Yeah, so I'm also going to do some of the Daedric quests to help me get through. I'll list all the quests in the comments and have links to guides on how to get through those quests too. So next time I see you, we'll start working on getting smithing, enchanting, and alchemy up to 100. I'll show you the best way that I know how to do that. Alright, see you guys next time. Bye.